Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Rei-Lin and I'm back today with some more Dauntless. Today I'm going to be talking about the axe, so it's going to be a little bit of an axe tutorial, and please keep in mind that I may get some things wrong, and if I do, please let me know down in the comments so I can make those adjustments and comments and not confuse anybody. I'm not going to say that I'm an axe expert or anything like that. I enjoy the axe. I think it is a really good weapon. I have a lot of fun with the axe. It's just that it is a little bit unwielding. You got to be kind of really good with the enemy behemoth patterns and attacks and everything. You really got to know your stuff to use the axe, because the axe, it doesn't reward failure in any way. If you don't really know the fights, you're going to get killed a lot. The axe is extremely slow, but of course, as people probably have already seen in plenty of other videos, the axe hits like a truck. But you're, of course, very vulnerable when you miss. So let's just get it started, and I'm going to talk to you about all of the attacks that this thing can do. So yeah, here's the amazing combo sheet. But you got your left clicks, powerful stationary attacks that can be held and charged, and you got your right clicks, they can be held and charged while moving. And then, of course, your Q is just a really, really slow, powerful hit. There's some things that they don't tell you about the axe special, which I will get to in just a moment. So you can see at the top left there is a bar, and it is empty at the moment. Towards the end here, I'll go find the behemoth wherever they may be. I pretty much just got to the map, so he's probably wandering around here somewhere, and show you what the axe can do, just as an example, so you can see it. So we got you got these attacks, right? So you got left, left, right, right. So you got left, left, right, right. So those little asterisks mean you can hold it. But let's do the other one real quick. You got right, 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 right. Okay, right, 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 right. And that's it. That is the axe tutorial video. No, I'm just kidding. While we're on the subject, you got jumping overhead left, and cross cut jumping right click. I usually use the jumping left. It's pretty much, since it goes so, straight up and down vertical, it's easy to hit the heads of behemoths that are kind of tall, and that's still a pretty big hit even though you don't really charge it or do anything like that. Rolling and stabbing, you're always going to get the second hit. So instead of starting with this attack and then moving on to these thrust, you can just roll and thrust. So you cut out one basically slow animation, this, and replace it with your roll. So that's really useful actually. But the problem with the roll and then starting with the thrust is you don't get to charge your attack. So what do I mean by charge? It means hold the button down. Now, when you're charging, there is a visual cue and there's an audible cue. As you charge it, it goes through levels, 2, 3, and then you let go. Now, you see how I turned red right there? That is the new mechanic. In the last patch, the axe was changed, and they added a new mechanic. It's basically super armor. You won't get knocked down, interrupted, or anything like that while you're flashing red. So a fully charged left click on the first attack, when you let it go, you turn red, and you're going to attack and hit whatever's in front of you, no matter what. The problem with that is, unfortunately, you don't get any kind of damage reduction or anything else. You just get super armor. So it means you take full damage from the attack that hits you, even if it doesn't stagger you or knock you off your feet. I don't really like to trade damage with a behemoth, because he's going to win and I'm going to lose. They do a lot more damage to me over time than I do to them. So whether or not that's useful to you or not is kind of up to the individual. I don't see that it's all that useful. I don't mind it being on the super move, on your special attack, because that takes much longer to go off, and that is kind of helpful so you don't get knocked out and lose your charge. So that's a little bit of a useful thing there, but with this, it's not too useful. Now, there is timing involved with this. If you watch, she goes through 3 different animations, and as soon as you get into the third animation, you'll see a slight flicker. that's when you need to let go of the button, and you'll see those white sparks. When I get to the 3rd level and I do it right, see the little white sparks fly? That means you did it right. That's a maximum damage, no holds barred, maximum damage hit. Now you can continue to hold the left, just like that, and see how there's no white sparks and there's no super armor? It's basically, it's all or nothing right there. You get that flash and you slam. So you can charge the 1st hit, and then you can charge the 3rd hit. And then at the end, which it doesn't tell you about, you can just repeat the left. As long as you have stamina, you can just sit here and chomp wood all day with your left click. The likelihood that you'll get to that with any monster, basically in tier 3 or tier 4, really depends on your team. Most of the behemoths are not going to give you enough time to get to the repeating, and even while you're repeating, you don't have super armor, so you're completely open to attack, and it's really hard to roll out of it unless you hit. So if you notice that the repeated attack, it's not very fast. It does speed up. If I keep clicking this, she see how she's starting to swing it a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. But until that axe hits, you can't roll. So keep that in mind when you're trying to use that attack. I'm not saying that's not useful, because here's the thing. To charge your special meter, you have to start with at least 1 level of this charge. And now once you've got the string, once you get to this, each hit of this will charge your special meter quite significantly. It'll also charge your lantern quite fast. But if you don't charge any of these hits, none of these hits will give you special meter. Now, what I mean, the lowest you need is right there. 1 charge, let it go, you'll get a little bit of special meter. The bigger the charge, so at level 3, when you let this go, all the hits that follow, even if you don't charge that uppercut or any of this, you'll still gain special meter. That's really, really, really useful. You need your special meter. The right clicks now, moving on, can be charged, but you can move. Now, there is no special property for these attacks, which means there's no sparks, there's no super armor. The right clicks are just there so that you can move. Now your main damage with this comes in these last 2 attacks. Now if you charge that to 3, both of these hits do a shit ton of damage. I mean a metric shit ton of damage. 1600 damage. Especially if you have a weapon that the monster is weak against. So fighting a Scrave with the Hellion Axe here would definitely do some serious damage. So you just keep going. Now if you don't charge that third hit, the damage is only okay. Right now, since the axe has changed with these animations, the best thing that you can do if you're going for pure damage and the monster's kind of wide open, do a roll, and then just spam your right clicks. Just do this. Because these are slower to animate, and they don't have the super armor, they do a lot more damage. So if you're just looking to do pure damage and get some hits in, there you go. That's your bread and butter for now. Now keep in mind the same thing still applies. If you don't charge this before you swing, you don't get any special meter. Only if you are charged up do you gain special meter. So doing the roll into this, there's nothing there charged, you get nothing. Now if you roll into the thrust, you can still charge this. And there you go, you would gain some special meter. But keep in mind that, again, you have to charge at least 1 level before you gain special meter. And yeah, that is pretty much what the axe can do, at least as far as the attacks go. Now let's talk about that special meter, because the axe hits really, really hard with its special, and it gains super armor. The thing to keep in mind with the special meter that it doesn't really tell you, I mean, you can see, requires full special meter. Okay, well, there's a little bit more to it than that, believe it or not. When that bar fills up, it turns white. And then, what you have to do, you have to hit with your special. If you don't hit with the special, it'll drain to about half. And you'll have to charge it up again to use your special again. What you want to make sure to do, though, is that you do need to hit. If you swing and a miss, you get nothing. So, let's just go see what old Shrike here has to say about me and my axe. So, you got two lines of thought. You can use your lefts, because your lefts do a lot of damage. If you have time to fully charge, then that's what you want to do. Now, this is only a tier 2 fight, so I expect to probably end up killing this guy pretty quick. But you see right there how quick and easy it is for me to get hit. Now, since I'm dodging his attack, you could use the right click, but you'll see. Now, if I want to charge, let's see how easy it is for him to get away while I'm charging. But you see my special meter's going up. Now, if I move, I can go like this. But you have to really, really anticipate where you're going to be, where he's going to be, and when he's going to be wide open. Now, every time that you are charging your attack, you lose stamina. So keep that in mind. As long as, like, if I right-click and move, watch my stamina. It starts going down in big chunks. Every time you start and you charge in the middle of your combos, it uses stamina. So 1, 2, 3, and then you go. And then I stab, and then I do the uppercut, charge, stuff like that. Now, I do have my special. It is full now. See, it is white. It is filled up. Not a big deal. I'm taking hits because I'm playing stupid. But I got super armor. Bam. Now, do you notice that there's now a white outline around that special meter? What that means is it starts counting down. It's a buff. It's a buff for me, and I totally whiffed on that. I'm afraid I'm gonna kill him before it's So yeah, if you know where these guys are vulnerable and wide open, you can do a lot of damage with the axe. So my goal here is just to hit him. Now every hit, like I said, after that first one, every hit will charge your special. As long as you charged the first hit, the rest of the hits that follow will charge it. Get away from him a little bit. Bam, bam. The left click, this is where the damage is. As you can see, it's very easy to really hurt him. See what I mean, though? I get the I did get the special meter there. Now you see how the white outline around the bar is going down? It's counting down. So it's basically it's a timer. You have, the meter is now blue and the outline is white. So if I can not be a dumbass here and I can actually hit him again without dying. There, so now my bar is turned white and I got a white outline. You know, I hit him again. Now it's gold. I've got a gold outline. Now he might die before I can get him any higher up as far as the damage goes. But you see, and just anticipating and knowing when he's vulnerable. I know when he's vulnerable, but right now I'm playing with no sound on so that I can have a clean recording. But you get the idea. So he's going to knock me out of that. I don't have super armor until the third hit. Never gonna hit with that tornado. Such a worthless attack, really. Now you do have quite a bit of time to get to him. should be using the right clicks basically, but this only the first hit's really going to give me any major meter. The reason why I want to use the left clicks is because it charges your special meter a lot faster than the right. It's easier to charge this up and hit with the rest of the strings. Okay, so now my bar is white again, and the outline is gold. So here is the last thing. Bam. So now my bar and the outline is red. It's basically 3 levels of special meter that no one in the tutorial or anything else tells you about. And you get to see the new stuff the owls do. It's all swoopy whoopy. So, you have a special meter that goes up to 3 times. So that means that the next time I use my special, it's going to hit even harder. But you see what I mean? Unless I can knock him down to do all of my combos, especially when he's enraged, to do any kind of serious charging on it, it's just not going to happen. So that's the downside to the axe. That's the biggest downside you got. Now he's wide open here. I could probably get a couple of things in and then start pounding like this. Now, here's what I'm talking about. Every one of these hits is giving me special. They have already charged my super. I'll watch the damage. The blue numbers mean it's basically stun. That's what gives him the little bubbles on his head. You can knock these guys out if you hit them with enough basic concussion damage is what it is. The hammer does a lot. The axe does some, not shit tons. But overall, you can definitely knock things down fairly quickly with the axe, especially with the special. And now it's a level 3. It stays level 3 until that timer runs out. But see, I can't dodge. If I miss, the amount of time that I can, I just can't dodge. If I miss, it takes a very long time to gain that back. See, look, how's that tornado ever going to hit? Look at that. So this is turning into more of an axe tutorial / how to beat the owls. But I wanted to show what I was talking about with this, with the special meter, because you really kind of need to fight something to be able to do it. And that's right there's the other disadvantage. You do so much damage, you knock parts off, he's going to stagger away. Just like that. And then he's going to run away, because he's meanie. He's a meanie. I'm not going to finish this fight. I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood how the special meter works, because it doesn't say, oh, it just says full special meter. But it's changing and gives you a buff. And every time that buff is up, it changes color. And once you've got the red, you're doing a lot more damage. It's kind of like an undocumented, even though it says it grants a temporary, I would assume, strength or some kind of damage buff on hit. So that damage buff goes up 3 times. So make sure that if you're using the axe, you're constantly charging your special. But not only that, you have to use it. You can see that the red is quickly draining out. And unless I hit with another special, it'll be gone and it'll start over from level 0. You'll have to charge it 3 times to get back up to the hardest hitting special level of 3. So basically that's the axe. It is not a beginner weapon. You can use it as a beginner weapon, but you're going to get hit and you're probably going to get killed a lot. Most people don't like the changes that they did. They don't care for the super armor. They figure, they just say it's useless. It's not that good. I think it's okay, but I'm definitely not going to say that it's the best in the world for sure. It definitely has its disadvantages. The super armor really doesn't help you that much because, like I said, you still take full damage. You just don't get staggered. Most people are not going to sit there and try to plow through a behemoth's attack to do a couple hundred damage. They're going to get out of the way and wait until the behemoth is wide open so they can really unload with all of the damage they can. Because you generally have short windows of damage potential that you can do to a behemoth before they're doing something you don't want to get hit by. And so the axe is really good in those short windows. But getting fully charged axe attacks off is a lot harder to do later on as the game progresses. The monsters either get too fast or they get too hard to knock down and knock out. Some are definitely doable. You can boop them, you can knock them down for long periods of time, and the axe can really shine on something like, say, Pangar or even Quill Shot. The axe is extremely good because those monsters leave themselves open to attack for long periods of time, so you can do a lot of damage in very short windows. But as a beginner weapon, a starter weapon, I wouldn't suggest using the axe to start out unless you're really committed to it and you really get the patterns of the monsters down. So anyway, if I got something wrong or you have more comments or more questions about the axe, please leave comments down below. I will reply as much as I can. I stream Dauntless basically 4 to 5 days per week. I'm trying to get partnered with them, so if you see me streaming, you can hop in and I can get in a group, or you can ask questions live and I can either use the axe and show it off in a fight or in a group fight, and you can see how good or bad it is on certain monsters. That's pretty much it for this video. I'm sorry it went a little longer than my last one. I'm trying to keep this as short as I can, but these behemoths, sometimes they don't want to cooperate, and I wanted to show off the special meter so that everyone could see exactly what they're after when they're using it. I didn't know for the first month or so until an axe expert basically explained it to me, so I thought I would pass that on to all of you. I will probably do the war pike next, unless people are screaming and hollering for a different kind of weapon. Either the war pike or the chain blade. I'll probably leave the hammer for last because it's my least favorite weapon, so I'm not very good with it at all. But any comments, please leave them down below. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel, you can click at the bottom of your screen here in just a few seconds, and that'll get you all the latest updates every time I put something new out on my channel. Check me out on my Twitch there down below. In the description will be a link. I'm streaming Dauntless a lot, so if you are interested in Dauntless and you like to learn more about it, check me out when I'm streaming it. So anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks everybody. Take care, and I'll talk to y'all next time.